In our channel, we have made 2 videos on a dynamic Corvette big tub kit. And in this video, we're putting them 2 together in our first ever technical video. Make sure to comment below if you want more of these. Enjoy the video.
Hey out there. What I'm working on today is I'm starting to mock up this Dynamic Air big tub kit. This is the passenger side tub. I went to Dynamics videos. They don't have a lot of measurements, but just based on the picture that I'll show you guys, this is approximately where the cuts are made. This is the only one here that I'm not exactly sure. This one you can see they followed the crease line in their video. I'm pretty comfortable with that one. Advantage I have these splash guards off right now, so it'll be a little easier to cut. Probably going to go ahead, maybe cut this over just a little bit more to give me some safety factor. But yeah, let's see what we can do. What I've done is marked, because I have the quarters off, it's going to be a little easier for me to cut from the outside. So I mark the outside under there, and then I'll have the other side marked, and then I'll mark the inside across the back, and then I'll get started to cut. I need this little towel here, so I'll minimize the fiberglass on me. And I'll make those cuts, and then I'll mark the inside. Yeah, let's get going.
All right, let's start cutting this thing.
It actually cut very easy with that metal cutting saw. I'm gonna cut the other side and then go inside and start cutting. What I did here is I put this angle on across to support the back half of this floor, because when I'm up there cutting it out, I don't want to fall down through. Could lean in through the window, but it'd be more difficult. So just brace that up, C-clamp it to my dolly, and let's go. Let's go cut that back part.
I'm going to trim up these inner fender wells, rear inner fender wells from Dynamic Air.
Well, I got the left side, the driver's side rear inner fender well tub, whatever you want to call it, put in there. As you can see here, I got some more trimming to do. I actually followed the wheel well, the original wheel well, so got here, but I got some trimming to do here. And then I'll start working on the other side. It took me some finagling and trimming, but I got the original access hole to the mid frame mount lined up real nice. Come inside. Fits pretty snug. Not real tight in this corner, but we can fill that full of 3M adhesive. Fits up in there pretty good. So yeah, pretty nice. Well, let's get working on the other side. Looks pretty empty over there. Okay, I'm out here today and just cleaning up, doing some trimming, making the opening I made more even. So when I do some body work there, it'll be nice and even. So here we go. I have the driver's side, the left side in where I want it now. Fits pretty good. I'll try to give you guys some measurements if you're using the dynamic big tub kit on where to cut things. Not fitting as tight as I'd like here, but I can trim this a little bit, get that a little tighter there, and clamp that when I glue it, so it should be good. I should be able to get a clamp up in here, no problem. But yeah, I'm real happy with the fit. If you notice, this is a little more of the wheel well shown, but I cut the old wheel well very, very close to the radius. As you see here, if I would have cut it any closer, I'd have been in the radius. So that's just the way it works. But there's plenty, there's about an inch there to glue, so I'm not worried about that. And then as you can see, I radiused it down a little bit, so I had a little more glue going there. Pretty happy. I do want to match this radius, is pretty thick here, to this radius so it fits tighter. But other than that, it fits in nice. I think they cut their bottom off a little bit more, they trim it, because they're about a ½ inch above that seatbelt reinforcement bracket. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I might cut it up a little bit just so it fits better, because it looks like this here is angled here and then it flattens out, so that might be keeping me away there a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and mark that with tape and cut that off. But yeah, it looks good. What I'm going to attempt to show you here is how you cut this. Now I have mine off, which makes it easier. Mitch said leave this off, it helps you put the quarters on better. So according to the videos I saw on Dynamic Air and watching Mitch's video too, what you do is you cut right at that crease line. You cut the radius off. Leave that on the scrap piece. When you come down here, you just come straight out, come up straight past your, what you do is take 3/4 tape and you put the one edge right on that crease line, if you can see there. And then you
Go to the top of that, come over. Now I believe this is measure at the tape line, because if you go up here, it's going to be different. So right at the tape line, you go 4 3/8 of an inch. 4 3/8 to that line. Draw a line basically straight up. I just kind of a feel. You can see here I got the one line off. I straightened it up. It's just basically parallel with these lines here is what you're trying to do, and parallel them with this line. Kind of a vision thing. You just got to kind of sight it. You might have to grind it a little bit to adjust it, but anyway, that's how you cut that piece. What I did in here on both sides is I followed the contour of the rocker and then cut down about an inch. Now this would be cut off too, but I only cut off what I need for the tubs themselves. I'll cut this off later when I'm putting the rear floor pan in. Yep, looks good. Let's see how it fits. Hey everybody, I've gone about as far as I can go right now without having the chassis, because they tell you not to glue this stuff together without the chassis and the doors lined up. But I got everything fitted pretty closely. If you see here, you put weight down on this, it fits pretty nice. I got some trimming to do on this bulkhead here just to match their recesses and stuff. Of course, this is going to have to be raised, of course, because I got to raise this for the Spec 7 chassis. But yeah, looks good. Put a little pressure here. Looks like it's going to fit nice. Pretty happy about that. There you go. Going to be nice. All I can say is that it just takes some trimming and fitting and patience. Not too bad though. They have all the flanges and recesses where they're supposed to be, so they do a good job at Dynamic Corvette. Okay, what you're looking at here is that patch I put on each side to cover that hole between the frame and the rear wheel front splash panel. I glued that with a 3M. And then I'll come to this side. Excuse the little red chuck jaw protector, but it's holding the angle up. And I'll glass this side and smooth it out. Do the same thing over here. I got a bunch of pieces rigged up here. I need to patch in some fiberglass in the corners here. Stuff was real thin. So yeah. All right, I wanted to show you guys, I have this front splash guard on the rear wheel well ready to go. A couple things I wanted to point out. One is I blocked that in right there. If you look at that, it goes up close to the roadster shop chassis real nice. Blocks that in. I just thought that'd be a good touch. And the second thing I wanted to show you was, you notice it's kind of a weird cut there on that opening to access the frame bolt down in there. Sorry for the light. But the problem is when you put the roadster shop big tub kit in, you'll have two thicknesses here of fiberglass. And the nut clips that they give you basically only size to fit on one thickness of fiberglass. So I'm going to put them on the roadster shop tub portion. So I clearanced these so I wouldn't have to go over two thicknesses. I'm not sure how a roadster shop does it. Maybe they get different clips, but this is what worked best for me. So I have both sides ready to glue on, and I've done this box in on both sides. So let's glue these on. One of the other things I wanted to point out is when you're using this 3M dual bonding adhesive, panel bonding adhesive, I believe it's a 08115. You can buy these multiple tips. And what I learned was you can go ahead and plug this in, let it set, replace the tip, and you can keep reusing these two tubes. So it works pretty nice. So I have a new tube on it, and this tube is a mixing tube. As you see it go through here, it mixes the two parts in the tip. It's a really nice setup. So yeah, let's get the gluing.
Looks like I gotta change tubes. It's all right, I can do that quickly. All right, the tube is changed. Let's get going again. Okay, folks, we're out here day after Christmas. I glued these on Christmas Eve day. These rear front splash guards. I did both sides, as you can see. What I'm doing now is I have roughed up all the surfaces that the big tub kit's going to be glued in. On the tubs and on the body. You can see here the clean parts. I roughed it up with 30 grit. Did the same thing inside if you look real close. All the way around that radius. You can see there the red paint, the old interior. It's all cleaned and wiped down with acetone with a clean rag. So I know I have a very clean surface on both parts. What I'm going to do now is I am going to put the mini tubs back in. I'm going to mark precisely where they go so I know where to put the 3M body panel adhesive. I'm only going to put the tubs in first, and I'll put the rear raised floor in later. I just feel it's going to be better to do it that way for me. So that's the way I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm ready to glue. I got everything cleaned with acetone. Got everything marked, as you can see here, where I put glue with the green line. Got everything marked there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna glue both these up at the same time. I have enough clamps. I'm gonna have to work at a steady pace, but I have about 30 minutes to get these things in place, and I have all the clamps lined up. I know exactly how they go, so let's do it. I have both big tub glued. It took me about 10-15 minutes. I also have, I do it both sides. See there, so I have both sides all glued. Put these things in. Okay, I have both big tub, dynamic big tub in. I don't have the floor in. I'm going to do that at a different time. You can see all kinds of clamps. I got everything nice and tight. Got it glued real good. Smoothed out. Got the same thing on the passenger side, as you can see. Got all smoothed out. Got a lot of clamps. But let's take a look from the inside, see what it looks like. See right there. You can see all the way up through, it's all glued. The other side, same way. See right there. You go up, it's all glued. Now, these two braces right here, or
jacks, what you want to call them. Actually, I took my safety jacks from my lift and I took the top off and I put a piece of galvanized piping on it. It worked perfectly to push those tub kits into the side of the body. So it worked pretty good. I just thought about that one day and thought, I'll use that. So it worked out real nice. You can see them, they go all the way across. And you got 2 of those. Well, it's the next morning. I let this set up for, oh, now it's been about 18 hours. Got all the clamps off. It's extremely secure on there. Everything stayed where I wanted. I got a little bit of grinding to do here, which was under the clamps. This thing is solid. It's amazing once you glue it together how solid it is. Now, as you see here, I have the floor portion all laid in there. As you can see here, I made a bunch of wooden braces, or I should say props, or whatever you want to call it, but as you can see here, I'm pushing it back. I have weight on each side. I have these 2 to push down here, and then I have 4. These are all 1x2s, but pretty sturdy, and that holds that against there. So pretty happy with that fit. I've marked everything, so I know where to glue. I've already ground everything with 30 grit. So yeah, let's get to gluing. Okay, I got the floor pan. I have the car lifted up so I could get the excess epoxy off. I notice here that this back needs a little bit of push forward, so I'm gonna make some wooden tooth, maybe a couple wooden braces, maybe 3 there, go against this frame here and push here to make that tight. Otherwise, it turned out pretty good. I got a little bit of glue to clean up with some acetone. We got most of it knocked down, so when I pull the body up, I can do some body work here and smooth all this out. But yeah, it looks good. Really happy with it. This is a view from the top side. You can see there, I got this brace and this one over here, pressing down and back. And you remember in the video, or maybe you didn't, let me show you. I put some braces back there also to kind of push that forward because it was bowing back. And then I have this brace and this brace over here, holding it down. And then I got 4 braces going up to the Z-bar, and they are holding it against the back of the floorboard. As you can see, it's a nice tight fit. So if you guys are using a dynamic Corvette big tub kit, I'm happy with it. It fits nice. You're gonna have probably about 4 or 5 hours of fitting up, but that's pretty normal because each Corvette is kind of epoxied together differently. This one had some twists and bends in it because the frame was shot. So anyway, got things, but make sure you get it back on the chassis you're gonna use and then glue your stuff in. Make sure you have your doors lined up, which you can see here. They're lined up. I'm pretty happy with that. Got a little bit of fill to do up here. I think somebody ground this edge off at one time because the car was sagging. But anyway, really happy with the dynamic Corvette kit. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just give me a little comment, bleep it down there on my video, and I'll try to answer whatever I can.